Thank you. Pakistan has the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President. One of the purposes of the creation of the United Nations was to free the world from all forms of servitude, to protect the life and liberty of the people of the world. Right to self-determination is the bedrock for realizing these purposes and principles, and hence adequately reflected in all human rights instruments. It has been more than 7 decades since the UN Security Council gave a clear verdict in favor of the right to self-determination of the people of Jammu and Kashmir. 7 decades of unrelentless struggle for freedom. 7 decades of inexplicable and barbaric repression of the oppressor. 7 decades of injustice, torture, and all sorts of human rights abuse. 7 decades of mothers losing their sons, sisters facing sexual violence, and daughters growing up without fathers. On 5th August, India illegally changed the status of Jammu and Kashmir in contravention of UN Security Council resolution and unleashed a terror on Kashmiris. Indian designs are clear. Change the demographics of Jammu and Kashmir and make the indigenous population a minority in their homeland. Indian methods are inhuman and barbaric. In the words of special procedures, Indian actions are unprecedented and amount to collective punishment. Indian ploy of state-sponsored terrorism, including pellet guns, injuries, extrajudicial killings, torture, sexual violence, arbitrary arrest, enforced disappearances, internet and telecommunication blockade. The situation is dire. 8 million Kashmiris are facing death, some due to lack of food, some due to lack of medicines, and others due to Indian soldiers. India's answer to all this is deniability, excuses, and uncalled for attacks. The situation in Indian-occupied Jammu and Kashmir is the result of an exclusionary, racist, and fascist Hindutva ideology of the current Indian government. History has proven that appeasement of evil never works. It has taught us that to be indifferent or neutral in the situation of injustice is to side with the oppressor. The oppressed Kashmiris must not feel alone. Their suffering is a burden on our collective conscience. We must act together to relieve their solitude and give them the hope that they are not alone. I thank you.
Je vous remercie.